It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7. I'm going to just get to the point, starting at verse 5, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. Verse 6, the end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. I want to start off by giving all praise. I want to give all honor. I want to give all glory to Koholohim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Hakwadash. I want to say double honors to the elders and to the apostles that told me this truth. I want to say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. I want to say shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, and other nations appearing like the other nations who subscribe to this truth to you. I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This lesson is inspired through an article that I came across on, I forgot where I got it from. But basically, it's going into, these different cuts that, the DJ Trump administration has been making, because we at the end. That's why I got Ezekiel chapter 7. Because it talks about, financial calamities and whatnot, I remember that elder, the beloved elder apostle, he broke down Ezekiel 7. But nonetheless, that's why it talks about they shall cast that silver and that gold in the streets, because it's not going to be able to save them. But, you may have something of value, but if you can't barter it, what the fuck do it matter? That's why, silver, gun. That's why the scriptures talk about store up not the treasures on earth, but store up thy treasures in heaven. Because what's going to be of value in that day? Your integrity, your fortitude, your mental resilience, which only a few people on the earth are going to possess that in these times. Shit is about to get real wild and crazy. Your hope, your faith, your confidence in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And that's why the Lord takes us through our different trials and tribulations. And I've been listening to a lot of brothers as of lately I hear the Spirit keep on bringing it back up. Things ain't about to get easier, which you should already know that. Since I've been in this truth, I know for a fact that nothing has gotten easier. And you know what? I would say this. I've just learned to deal with it a lot better, That's what I can say. So call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for some inkling of growth, put it like that. Because, the Lord is about to just intensify. The birth pains are going to get it stronger. But Salakia, not to digress. So when you go into Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5, it says evil and only evil, behold, is come. You go into that word, evil is a compound word, e meaning time, ill meaning bad. We're in bad times, a lot of jobs are being cut. And, if they're cutting these federal jobs, these government jobs, how much more so the average Joe Schmo, mom and pop, situation. So I'm going to just highlight the title, make it easier for myself when I go to post it. It says, Postal workers fear job cuts as United States Postal Service layoffs are announced. It said letter carriers will be rallying across the country. So that's another protest, another uproar. Sunday, as 10,000 USPS workers are expected to be laid off within the next month. Now this is dated March. So that's talking about in April. And a lot of things supposed to be happening in April. Now, I'm waiting to see DJ Trump on April 1st say, because April 1st is considered April Fool's Day, because he has bamboozled and tricked, pretty much the masses of the people. He pretty much deceived all the Edomites, the people that got him into office, and 2/3 of the nation, because you had niggas for Trump and all these different individuals voting for him. But, he didn't fool the prophets because, at the end of the day, we knew what he was about. He made it known when he read that poem, The Snake. But the thing, he a serpent. He saw Edom. But at the same time, it's like we grateful, call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that he's in office because he's getting her done. He getting shit done. I'm talking about this, like the elder always say, he ain't been in there 3 months and he already did shit, and we're not even feeling the full effects of stuff. You gotta remember, government is a big machine. So they might pass something, but you don't feel the effects of it until, maybe later in the year. I think that's why the Lord did what he did with me. Because, again, I've done wrong, but I try not to do. I mean, we all go off in this truth. I would never play or be proud to say, that literally I went off in this truth. I went off probably more than average. But what I'm gonna say is I have made sure not to try to be purposely going off. If you don't know, you don't know. Being ignorant of something is, that's like a fool. What's that old saying? The Lord look out for babies and fools. But with all that being said, things are intensified. And the Lord. Put it like this: this man is that cruel Lord, which I got on deck. So it says, Dallas, the United States Postal Service has long been considered a stable career path. Right. It's funny because one of the brothers that was in my portion of the camp, or in the camp, because they divided our camp up into little like pockets, like other states, bigger camps, because it was growing, or it is growing. I can't say was. I haven't been really following the brothers as of lately. Every time that neither here nor there. But I remember that brother worked for the post office. My dad worked for the post office actually. He retired from the post office. And now that's not, and it's crazy it was worded like that, because I've been saying some similar words as of lately. At one point in time, a government job was pretty much considered, gravy train, and you can support a family and get yourself out of poverty and yada yada yada. But now, being that they're attacking these government jobs, scriptures talk about uncertain riches. We in very uncertain times, and the only certainty, that's the spirit. Every time I go to do my lesson, his brother be doing the lesson. But we both just be up, but that's still the spirit. It says, but uncertainty is growing among federal employees as thousands of layoffs are expected. So, I ain't gonna read this article. You very well may, if you choose to. As of lately, sometimes Jay get into the articles. I ain't been in the spirit of getting into them, That's for whatever reason, Usually those articles, to me, is if you bringing out some pertinent information in regards to something. We all know layoffs coming on and going on. It's that same brother speaks on that all the time. Ain't no jobs and people losing jobs. But there's certain jobs, if the Lord dealing, it's opportunity, because the Lord gonna look out and provide for his. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Just like I heard a brother recently say that. He said, if the Lord take your woman or take the kids, not the way he said it, but I understood it too, like at the end of the day, this ain't the time to be in that woe is me spirit, the Lord making major moves, and you got to get up out of that self-pity and whatnot. But that's easier, everybody ain't, I ain't even gonna speak on that, I ain't even gonna speak on it. I said I was gonna stop speaking on so much different shit, At the end, they trying to just bring out the scriptures, because I got a full plate of stuff, what I mean? Everybody got opinion, it's like assholes, Everybody got something to say. What worked for one person don't necessarily work for another. I've watched people try to emulate people, and then their household got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what's good for you might not be good for me. But at the same time, you can get wisdom from a lot of different things. And, Jake was on point with certain things. But saying all that to say this, you're going to have to be in a certain mindset and a certain kind of spirit with the things that's approaching Babylon the Great. And we going to be caught in the midst of all this. So let's bring out the scriptures. Book of Ecclesiastes. Well, started Isaiah chapter 19, because the Lord put the right individual in office to bring forth, this pain to the economy. An individual, a proud ass Edomite like DJ Trump, This is the book of Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yah shall rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. The burden is a prophecy, and pretty much it's a future prophecy, because what is that? Revelations talks about how when Yahushua comes back with the armada of heaven, and the chariots, pretty much all eyes shall see him. So, that links up with that verse too. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, the modern day Egyptians and these red Hebrew Edomites. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And you're seeing that take place right now. You got individuals pretty much burning up Tesla's vehicles and, his factories. And they basically, the Trump administration's deemed that an act of terrorism. Domestic terrorism. So you about to have the people against the people, the Egyptians versus the Egyptians. And you're going to have goofy ass Jake get caught up in that, because Jake always want to be a part of something, but they don't want to be a part of what's theirs, their heritage, being an Israelite. Right now, so I ain't gonna say bugged out. It's pathetic. You got people at the end talking about I ain't an Israelite. That's funny in itself, though. Like the elder says, so nobody's losing those. The elder said, "Hey, everybody losing them," but that's just the pride of people's hearts. I mean, I might get to rant because I know my brother always used to say, and I don't deal with none of my family except for my sister, and she's like the only one that really believes in the Bible. But I don't know if she subscribes to the names. I've sent her videos. That's on her. That's between her and Yahweh Shemel Shah. But I still think about some of the shit he said when I was younger. Now, a brother said something when I used to try to, I guess I wasn't a very good mentor, but I used to, try to give Jake game, I guess he Jake, I guess, believed he surpassed me, but what I noticed is something the elder said too, a lot of Jake worried about the appearance of trying to keep up with image amongst brothers, so, it's a lot of, just the Lord about to weed out a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Trust me, you don't know how difficult this is unless you walk in it. But I felt in the spirit the Lord about to start fucking shit up, and that's why I did what I did. Seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. I don't want to be faking nothing or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, hell no. Like, the Lord is not playing. The Lord, no. How you gonna lie to the Lord? You lie, and then that's scary if you lying to yourself and the Lord no. Man, that's terrifying. The fear of the Lord is not in these people's hearts, but it will be. You know what I mean? Like when the Lord start killing, men that you thought was really men, the Lord, and that vision that brother had is so prophetic. That's terrifying. Because the Lord could use you and then discard you. Verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards, because this place is built on idolatry and witchcraft and sorcery. I was just watching the elder going to that guy Big Judah, and Big Judah was up there. I don't follow that guy, but like the elder said, this guy got a lot of followings, but those are people that the Lord wanted to be destroyed. You got people that's got one foot in the world and one foot. They want a world-friendly doctrine, like what Polite said. You almost got me, because Polite probably was hooked on the fact that, oh yeah, you could have more than one woman. So a nigga try and take that and try and do that on this side. Like the elder said, where you fucked up at is you try to do this in this man's kingdom. You could be a mo, but you can't have more than one woman. A nigga can't. Which, like I said, when you take the time to really analyze and look at things from like the perspective of anonymous, if you do, I'm gonna word this, I'm gonna term this. If you ever saw Star Trek, what's his name, Spock, they race of people was they supposed to have been unemotional, and Spock was a hybrid. He was like a mutant because he had a mother that was like a human, and his father was whatever the fuck they was called. And long story short, he was emotional, and that's what made Spock unique. But you gotta put your Spock, get in your Spock spirit. You know, because we can't be emotional in this thing. Yeah, because you about to see a lot. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be sad. You know, and especially when you in positions of you can't show weakness or whatnot in front of a certain individual. That's like getting your ass whooped in front of your kids or your woman. They're not gonna lay that shit down. Even if she sit up there and pamper you that moment, she gonna talk shit as soon as she, what I mean? That's a bitch for you. These hoes ain't shit. I mean, I get what the elders were saying about how, literally women, you get you one that's gonna give you less headache on this side, but they all a headache because we under curses. But that's just my opinion. I mean, like every man's lot is not the same. I could tell you for a fact I brought 3 different women into the household and they all turned into demons. Now, maybe I could have did certain things and, kiss some ass, but ain't nobody kissing no ass. My life is too hard. I got to go fight the world and then come home and argue with you like, bitch, ain't nobody. I'll go ahead and run it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to the point now I don't even want to rent it. The elder said some shit that made me, like, what turned my study says, like, you using a garbage can with all the juice. That's a goddamn. And I got an imagination, too. That shit been spoiling my stomach since. Salakia for the rat. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of the cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Lord of hosts. The elders been in the spirit of talking about discipline. Yeah, so certain shit like, busting a nut and, like relieving yourself, like those, that's at the time we in, those, you got a woman, of course, you got duties, you got, you got to perform and, because you got to please her, you got to get that demon off her, keep that demon off her. Sometimes you get it off by, not sparing the rod, but, or you train her with it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, our vices that, some things that we enjoy, we got to lightweight learn to sacrifice, Trust me, and I had to throw away my shit sometimes. Like because I walked into homelessness. I had a choice. You know what I'm saying? I had a choice. And I said, no, I ain't doing that. So I had my shit in my hand. I tried to preserve everything I could. Got to the point I couldn't carry that shit. I ain't had no storage. I really didn't have a plan. I watched the days boil down. I'm like, man, this shit crazy. And that's how it's gonna be for those the Lord selling the closing the doors of mercy. These people don't want this truth. So it's a choice. You can get deliverance or destruction, and most of them gonna choose destruction. That's why the scriptures talk about this world was made for many, but the world to come for few. So that cruel Lord, Salakia again, that cruel Lord is DJ Trump. Because look at the shit he doing. The things he doing is about to bring struggle and pain to the earth. And he about to benefit from it. Like when he did the meme coin, he got into office, everybody believing, DJ Trump. And it was just they looking at him like he the second coming. And this motherfucker literally just did a scam on y'all. They talking about all the people that invested in that Trump meme coin and then lost like $2 billion already. They said he made $500 billion off that bitch. Facts. Y'all gonna realize too it's too late. Man, that nigga's not worried either because he one of them proud ones. Like how Mayweather used to pull up and motherfucker the drive through to I'll beat your ass. You know what I mean? Like that's the one reason why I don't like Mayweather. Like, yeah, he's talented in the motherfucker, but just because you talented doesn't mean I gotta respect you because you a great boxer, but I ain't gotta like you. Like the brother said, I don't like every brother, but I love every brother. And that's deep when you really take time to think about what he's saying, That's a hell of a statement to make, because the thing is, the Lord holds you to certain things we say. We make oaths and we make statements. I watched the Lord literally I said something one time, the Lord put what I said right in my face 2 minutes later. I said, God damn, that's like, you can't make this stuff up. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Because this place is off tilter. What's that in Deuteronomy? It says like a blind man gropeth in darkness. These people, especially 2/3 of our nation, can't see shit. They can't see that what DJ Trump doing right now. You got people who really don't see what they fucking doing because they spiritually blinded. Verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Verse 16, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid, and because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua of hosts, which he shaketh over it. That's the second time I read a scripture about the Lord shaking up the, Babylon the Great. Now, well, I read it yesterday. Yeah. And the Lord shaking this bitch up. You know what I mean? He's sifting the shit out of this. Yeah. Yeah. Shaking this bitch up. We gonna see what's gonna fall out. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, getting straight to the point, and it reads, in that, Salakia, Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. So the keepers of the house are the economists. And I never watched the economy, never, I lived in a little pocket of the world in our city, because we just, I was the typical nigga. And we sitting up here like, you got niggas, and I was never considered, stupid. But, now that I look back, I was like one of the stupidest niggas around them. Because we really thought life just existed in our little neighborhood. Our day to day was, okay, make some money for the day. Then go maybe kick it with a broad, and you know what I mean? Like, just like no future. And you got people that still got a mindset like that. And that's what Esau Edom created. That nigga gotta pay. Like the elder said, we don't even know what real living is. Now I've got to experience a lot since then, I've got to experience a lot just coming in the truth. Again, one of the most beautiful things that I'll take away from being amongst brothers is actually seeing true brotherhood. Because I can actually say I've met real brothers. Even with the disagreements or whatnot, I like to keep and remember the memories, Again, I think about great things that brothers have done for me, and that's why I had no problem doing great things for brothers. But we gonna get that fully in the kingdom. On this side, we still up under the curses. And that's why all this shit coming out, with, who going off, what's not right. You know what I mean? We gonna deal with this until the Lord come and deliver us. And that's why we need a savior. I know I'm not no savior. I can't even save my I can't even get my children in line. And I'm joking, but I'm not, Like, that's how hard these curses hit. My house is in order to a degree, but you know what I mean? That's why I got male dogs. I got too much female energy in my fucking house. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves and grinders cease. The grinders represent the jobs. And we watching them cease right before our eyes. So that's prophetic. Because they are few and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So the economists looking out the windows and they seeing like, damn, it ain't no future for this place. And I was watching at one point in time 5 economists, and they all saying the same thing. They trying to prepare carnally, but it ain't no preparedness for this. It's one that I watched called Johnny Bravo. He you could tell he's set up. He got the whole you take his persona from Johnny Bravo, the cartoon character, and he talking about you can do this, you can do that, but what he don't understand is, and like I said, I read Ezekiel, it said they should cast their silver and gold in the streets. That's prophetic, because when everything fails, you may have the money, but if nobody's selling any goods, what the fuck you gonna do with the money? Money's worthless. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the ground is low, going back to the jobs, and he shall rise up early, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. That's for those that get up early. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low, which we at a time when the music is at the lowest point it's ever been. So, and the only ones that's going to get saved out of this is the elect, So judgment, this is like a form of judgment. Like pretty much, a lot of people getting deceived. You got people talking about pray for Alazar. That man is a demon. You know what I mean? Like, can he be saved? I mean, the Lord can do anything, but at the same time, this man was secretly doing this. Just if he was doing something like that, just imagine what else he was doing. He probably justified, them demons probably had him in his mind thinking selling dope was okay. They probably was passing a pack along with a Sakari t-shirt. Like, that probably is an organized gang, and I wouldn't be surprised. And they showed you their carnality by they toting them guns, during the, like, man, the Lord cold. And that's terrifying. May Yahweh Shem Yahushua preserve and watch over his elect. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 24. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders. I forgot that was even right there. That's the spirit. And so much that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, But then they won't deceive the elect, because the elect, are going to be delivered up out of it. They're going to get those that are unelect. You got a guy like that Big Judah guy. He talking about the Book of Mormon, but if you go and do the history of it, the guy Joseph Smith was a Freemason. So sure, everything ain't for everybody, and everybody don't. I got a particular weird like catch of knowledge, and yeah. But when you go into that's why they look at the similarities between Mormonism and Freemasonry. Just like it's coming out now about how the Oscars all is like a Freemasonic ritual. So yeah, this place we is at the end, Laura Willie. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem, Hakodash, double honor to the elders, to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faithfulness. Lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought they're listening and learning. The Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad and land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, and subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly. Shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Muwakla Babal.